attacks in Android. And they gave me a response which basically was suggesting that yes, they were looking into buying patents. So they weren't too interested in actually helping us fight against software patents. They were just complaining about software patents, but their way of trying to solve that was to get some patents of their own and play the same game. And they did. So eventually it wasn't the company that was rumored to be the one they were interested in. It was a company which was infested by Carl Icahn, who had infiltrated the company and tried to pressure them to sell the patents. Now, based on what we know now, it's possible it was almost going to sell the patents to a company like Apple and Microsoft. And usually they try to set up those kind of, what should we call it, a proxy entity or something to try and give the patents to both companies so they can use it against their competitors and scare them away. But eventually Google overpaid for basically mostly a pile of patents for Motorola. And now they have about, I think, 17,000 patents relating mostly to mobile devices and technologies and all kinds of things going many, many, many years back. And in some sense, the threat of patents is quite a change situation now for Google, because they can threaten to attack Google, to attack Apple, attack Microsoft. They try to litigate. So there is a bit more of a deterrent, but once again, what we actually have here is a company that used to be a small company, we were only formed formally about 13 years ago, becoming part of those big conglomerates with loads of patents. In this case, by acquisition, not by earning or invention or anything like that. And all of that money that they spent on Motorola Mobility Unit, I think for $12.8 billion. That, many people will say, oh, it's very nice of Google to pay for it, to defend us, but who's going to have to pay for it? We will. It's not Google who's paying for it. The expenses basically pass to the public in some stage, in some way, and we are basically paying for all these patents. The only ones really earning money here are the lawyers and the monopolists who are basically closing the market and ensure that all the wealth goes to very few companies that have those patents and can ensure that they can pass this patent thicket, as it's called, which constitutes a certain number of medals you need to have on you, a certain number of even things you buy, basically medals you buy, to enter the big club of those who are allowed to sell a mobile device. So that's really troubling from my point of view.
You've been following this far deeper than me over the last few weeks, Roy. Have Microsoft made any official comment or any sort of opinion on this?
They do lots of fun. They wrote a post about it today. They wrote a post about it yesterday, and days. You get a picture. Basically, because this is a very major piece of news, and loads of people make commentary about it. I mean, once in a while you've got these really big stories everybody talks about. For example, today it's the earthquake. I'm not sure if did you hear about it?
Yes, I caught that on news.
Yes, everybody mentions earthquake this, and at first I wasn't sure what people making like jokes and things about earthquake, and I was like, what are they talking about? And then I found out about the news, because in Twitter you get the news within minutes. Like there will be some person in Boston who's just saying, 2 minutes ago we had an earthquake. Well before anybody can write a news article about it. They just say, I just had an earthquake, and they just post to Twitter, and a minute later you see it. So that's the big news today. The question is, how do you sort of piggyback the big news everybody talks about and try to spin it and try to change the story and try to hijack the story or try to distract attention away from it. So one of the things that happened when Google announced the deal with Motorola, there was a person who's a lawyer who used to work for Microsoft, and he and one of the lobbyists for Microsoft were trying to distract attention to make it seem like Google had an issue with copyright violations. So they were trying to shift the attention away to something else. So people will only be talking about the patents and the fact that Google now has loads of patents to counter the attacks on them with. They were trying to say, Google, they infringe on copyrights, they disrespect so-called IP and stuff. And today they try to they try to make people forget about the complaints from Google and make it seem like Google is this ferocious, disgusting, dangerous company that's going to go after you and your phones, and it's going to throw you out of the market. And it's really just a very mythical portrayal of Google, because Google will not actually do that. And that wasn't the purpose of them buying the patents. And if you look very closely at which sources it comes from, it's usually like some Microsoft MVPs who spread this FUD and try to push it into the news in some ways. So that's, you said that's the word for Microsoft. But the other thing that happened was, I think the head of the mobile unit at Microsoft was approached to comment about the Google thing, and I don't remember exactly the answer, but it was a very pathetic one. It was kind of speechless, because I think they were relying on trying to extort Google. They were relying on trying to make Google run out of defenses and things. And right now, after Google spent like $13 billion, I think they have what they needed to basically carry on competing more fairly with Apple and Microsoft. The fact that it costs so much, and the fact that we're probably going to have to pay for it is just a separate issue.
Well, I think we've got our first track for the evening, and Roy, I believe you've got the details on this one, so I'll let you do the introduction.
I think I mentioned it before. The track is called The One, and the name of the singer is PJ Morton.
Hey girl, what's your name? Seems like I've seen you before. Been watching you the whole night since you walked through the door. I think I know where I've seen you in my dreams. We worked together, had a family, it felt like reality. I think she just might be the one. Yeah, I think she just might be the one. You might be the girl of my dreams. Yeah, you might be the one. I think she just might be the one. Oh, I think she just might be the one. Oh, I think she just might be the one. I think this girl might be the one. Oh, I think she just might be the one. It's killing me, wondering how it would be if we were together, like in my dreams, cause we were so happy. Oh, you look like her, even walk like her. Is it coincidence, or were we brought together because it was meant? I think she just might be the one, the one. I think she just might be. You might be the girl of my dreams. She might be the one. Oh, I think she just might be the one. I think she just might be the one. Oh, I think she just might be the one. Oh, I think she just might be the one. She might be the one. The one. I think she just might be. I think she just might be the one. Oh, I think she just might be the one. Yeah, she looks like her, even walks like her. Lifetime, another one like her. I think she just might be the one. If you're the one and you know it, not afraid to show it, wave your hands. Oh, if you're the one and you know it, not afraid to show it, wave your hands. Oh, if you're the one and you know it, not afraid to show it, wave your hands. Oh, if you're the one and you know it, not afraid to show it, wave your hands. Oh, I think she might be the one. Oh, I think she might be the one. She might be the one. She might be the one. Yeah, might be the one. I think she just she might be the girl of my dreams. I think she might be the one.
Right, thanks for staying with us. And back on with the topics at hand. Now I think, according to my show notes, we're going to have a discussion about the United States Court of Appeals opening the door to invalidating more software patents. And again, Roy, I find myself, and I apologise for this.
I have to ask you a question, though.
Yeah.
because I'm going to be a strange form. What do you think of the importance of software patents to the whole? I mean, several things here. There is free software. There is freedom of choice. There is free,